1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
It is. It is today. Good morning. It's the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. I hope you and yours are doing well. Ready for a big Thursday. Good morning. Thursday and the month of January is almost gone, Theo. Wow. Hope you've gotten your New Year's resolution started. Hope you are a week or two into them after procrastinating for 2 or 3 days. We are here on Thursday. It's the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. You're watching us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, the BamaCentral Facebook page. You're listening to us on Apple Podcast, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. You can find the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral. We're live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios right here off McFarland Boulevard, just into Northport, past the Tiger Rock, past the Rustic Rehab on the left. So call Derek Daniel for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. We're also proudly presented by Purple Turtle Roofing. Call Purple Turtle Roofing for all of your insurance needs at 877-787-6635. They'll come out, give you a free roof inspection today, make sure that you are good to go. And a day like today is a good day for you to call Purple Turtle Roofing as it is raining in West Alabama. Hope you and yours are staying safe, staying dry. A little nasty rain. I know we've got some winter weather ahead, so make sure that you got the generators going, you got the heaters going, the blankets are out as it's going to be a little bit of a crazy weekend weather-wise across the Southeast and really across the entire country. So if you are listening to us from wherever you are, I hope you're staying warm. So we're going to have a lot of fun today with our man, Theo Fernandez. You can find Theo at Theo Fernandez _, writing a lot of sports for BamaCentral.com. We're going to talk about Charles Bediako just a little bit more. We're going to take your reactions to Charles Bediako. We're going to talk about what happened yesterday. Another handful of small developments happened, just micro developments throughout the day happened with the former Alabama and the current Alabama big man. So we're going to talk about what we expect to see from him on Saturday and really what this is all about. We will talk about Alabama's newest transfer portal offensive lineman. You got another one yesterday, this time from Mississippi State. It's Javen James. So Alabama is up to 19 transfer portal additions this season, 6 of them along the offensive line. So really doing a lot of work putting in to the offensive line room to revamp that room. We'll talk about Javen James, and we'll go through the position by position breakdown that Katie wrote yesterday for BamaCentral.com and talk about really where Alabama's last few needs are. The portal is closed, so players can't get into it, but lots of players still in the portal waiting to find new homes. Does Alabama want any of them? So we'll talk about that as well. With all that, make sure, like I said, you follow Theo Fernandez at Theo Fernandez _. You can leave us a comment wherever you watch the show. You can call the show on the voicemail line at 205-758-3391, extension 800. That's not the right word. Yeah, that was the 205-758-3391 is Derek Daniels. You're calling the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800. So we'll get those numbers correct. If you call Derek and try to leave a voicemail, I bet you he would be cracked up upstairs, being like, "Oh, y'all want to talk Alabama sports? I'm trying to give you State Farm an auto insurance quote." So leave us a voicemail at 205-462-7340, extension 800. With that, good morning, Theo. How we doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Joe. I'm ready to get out there and talk about this Bediako situation. It was great. Given a whole show on it yesterday, only to have the news break that we were discussing minutes as I was driving home. But I'm ready to just talk ball.
Yeah, as you said, right as we hit end yesterday, and I did go home and I recorded about a 2-minute tag that I put into the show right at the end of our conversation, so that everybody knows that we weren't completely moronic. Yes, we added the news piece that a Tuscaloosa judge had put a temporary restraining order in for Charles Bediako, and he is eligible on Saturday against the Tennessee Vols, and the official hearing will happen on Tuesday before Alabama takes on Missouri. So I put that in there, but just let's start right there. Toss you the softball. Angry Chuck, he is available for Saturday. He is eligible for Saturday. And later on in the day, Nate Oates told the Field of 68 that he is planning on playing Charles Bediako on Saturday. So we can eliminate that question. Is he even going to play? Yes, Oates is planning to play Charles Bediako. Here's your easy softball to get started. Just your reaction to watching Charles on Saturday.
Yeah, look, we broke down yesterday how just impactful he's going to be for this team, how he fills exactly what this team needs. Yeah, like we all know that this is a massive addition on the court for Alabama. And look, I mean, it does everything you could possibly. Bull Bowen does not need to be a center again at all this season. You realize how much that benefits this team. Just putting him in the right position, not making him play there and not having to rely on, Bristow or Williamson or, where everything those guys give you now is a plus for this team, right? It's not something that you need. And there will be no rust with Bediako. That's my prediction because, I mean, this guy, he played a G League game on Saturday. He's been trained, Najee's had some trouble, breaking through, right? He's kind of struggled. Yeah, he's coming off injuries. He hasn't played. Bediako's was operating all summer like he was going to play a full year of basketball, and he was doing it already this year. We are literally getting a pro player. Like, you can talk about the whether it's right or wrong or whatever, but no matter what, I mean, this is a professional basketball player that gets to come on the court for a massive game for this team midseason. Will there be, I don't know how well he knows that. I don't know how long it takes him to get acclimated with the team, but it's literally like Alabama's picked up a free agent midseason. That's what it is, and I'm excited. I think he's going to put up very good numbers on Saturday. We'll talk more about
20 and 20. 20 and 20.
I was going to say double-double. I held myself off, but I'll go out on a limb, and I'll say he's going to put up a double-double on Saturday.
Well, he was never like a monster scorer for Alabama. Let's see what.
I believe he was averaging as
6 and 6, right?
He might have been averaging more rebounds than points in the G League, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, 6 and 6 when he was here at Alabama. Let's see all game logs. So let's see if I can find a scoring high. His highest point total was 15 points against Mississippi State in 2022. He scored 14 against North Carolina, also in 2022. He's got a bunch of 12s right here, but largely most of these games are 10 points or fewer for Charles Bediako. Let's see the total rebound number. His highest rebound, man, you give me this: 16 rebounds against North Carolina in that in a game in 2022 as well. So in the 4 overtime game that you played, I think that was at the Players Era Festival. You were out there. I think that was the first year of the Players Era Festival when you were out in like Oregon or whatever. It was some Nike tournament before it was Players Area. He got 13 against Texas A&M in the SEC tournament, 12 rebounds against Longwood, regular season non-conference, 10 rebounds against Maryland in the NCAA tournament round of 32, and 10 rebounds against Arkansas in the SEC regular season. Now, blocks, he's got a ton of blocks. 6 against Gonzaga, 6 against Mississippi State. This is all a couple years ago, but my man's is going to be, I think, an extremely good, strong addition to this roster. And just like you said, I don't think there's going to be any rust on his personal game. I think the largest rust factor is going to be Charles Bediako fitting in with the team as far as just personnel goes. Not do I know the plays, because the plays have all largely basically been the same. The NATO system has basically been the same for the last handful of years. So it's not really like it's going to be a big adjustment for, what's this play call? What's my job? He's just got to get there, and he's got to develop trust with his teammates. That first LeBaron Philon ball screen and roll where he throws it up and Bediako catches and dunks is going to set Coleman Coliseum on fire. Are you going to the game on Saturday?
No, I'm anchoring that night, so I will not be able to be there, but we have someone shooting first half highlights that I'll be getting them over, and because the game won't be over by the time we go on air. So
you'll be 5, 6, and 10 anchoring?
We just do a 9:00 show on the weekend, so I'm only on at 9, so it'll probably be really early into the second half when I hit the air. if I had to guess. Actually, no, probably
A little later. It's at 7:30. Game's at 7:30.
game. We go on around 9:20 for sports. So yeah, I'll be right mid second half, I'd say.
There we go.
It'll be fun though.
We want to say good morning to Keith Connell, Roll Tide from Walt's Secret Lab and the Dry Cleaners. He's been throwing, absolutely throwing all these. He's out in New Mexico, so appreciate you, Keith. Keith, let us know what you think about Charles Bediako being added to the team. And my man Cameron Metzger, appreciate the comment on the haircut. Roll Tide to you, and good morning, Cam. I hope that you are doing well, sir, as well. You can let us know what you think about Charles Bediako being added to the basketball team and playing on Saturday. My thought is there's a couple of thoughts bouncing around in my brain from really yesterday's developments. You've got a lot of upset rival fans. Well, why don't we just take whatever player that didn't make it is, bad, it still has college eligibility. The biggest thing that people are missing from this story, Theo, is that Charles Bediako is still in his 5-year window, 5-year college basketball window. Once you start playing, you have a 5-year window, and once that is closed, that is part of the eligibility clause. And he's still in his 5-year window. So a lot of these players that, you got a lot of Auburn fans throwing out old Auburn players. Why don't we call this guy? Why don't we call that guy? And it doesn't quite fit into they won't be eligible, right? So that's partly something that people are missing, is that he is still Charles Bediako, despite being gone for a couple of years, in his 5-year window. That's why he is eligible this semester if the judge continues to hold up his eligibility. And that's why he's only eligible this semester. People talking about Nate Oates' comments from a couple of weeks ago, talking about, if we do this, we're going to take away high school opportunities. Well, you're not enrolling a high school player right now for this semester. You're not. There's just nobody out there right there that you're enrolling. So Chuck is only eligible for this current semester. This is his final eligibility. I mean, he was eligible the last couple of years if he had gone this route, I suppose. But if the judge upholds this restraining order and deems him eligible, he is only going to be eligible this semester, despite only playing 2 years of college basketball. So this will count as his 3rd year. He spent 2 years really gone in the NBA G League, and so this will count as his 5th year and 5th semester. So this will run out his eligibility. He won't be taking opportunities away from a high schooler, per Nate Oates' comments a couple of weeks ago. So I think go ahead.
Just to cut in, I think that's a naive take. I think that, well, technically that's all correct. That's all the rules, right? You're telling me Auburn couldn't bring in a player from the 2019 team, right? That Final Four team. You can't bring in someone from there. You don't think that Auburn judge in whatever county is over that, blanking on the county, but you don't think they're going to approve that player for the time being? Like, you don't think that, sure, you're supposed to only have 5 years, but the rule is clearly stated. You go declare for the draft, you go play professional basketball, you're not allowed to play. The rules are out the window. So you can go and talk about, he's still in the 5-year, you're technically correct, but this is a completely new development. This is still completely ignoring the old rules of eligibility that existed. So I don't see why guys don't call up old players. I don't see why the 5-year thing is even why are you even letting it affect your team's process at this point? If I'm a college basketball coach and there is anybody who's played in Europe, who's played in the G League, who, even if he didn't used to play for my school, I'm calling him up right now. You want to play college basketball? You want to join a contending team mid-season? You willing to pass up the $20,000 you'll make over the rest of the G League season to come play here? Any athlete would take that. All of these teams in their, will get judges like we did here in Tuscaloosa to approve a player temporarily. The floodgates are open, and I don't know why these coaches don't just go and do it. Because the 5-year thing isn't going to mean anything, I don't think, at the time being, right? Why?
Well, it's a little bit of a loophole that allows the judge to say, well, he is in his 5-year window.
There's no loophole. He played professional basketball. We're past that stage.
Okay, right. There's the other distinction. People talk about, oh, he's played professional basketball. And if you consider G League professional basketball, do you not consider the European leagues professional basketball?
Yeah, and so,
because the young man that we played against with Oklahoma this past weekend played in Russia professionally.
And now, first of all, something common misconception I think that I've seen online, like people saying it's all started when European players.
Ilatantsev, right? Ilatantsev.
Yes.
I was trying to think of his name.
Professional athletes have been allowed to play college sports for a while. Like, you guys know, Alabama has the best runner in the country, right? Doris Lemglay. She was getting paid for professional races before she came here. In sports like that, in sports like swim, like athletes have been getting paid for a while. And I remember when I first stumbled upon that rule in high school, like, wait a minute, this is a thing. Like, yeah, no, this is nothing new. Pro athletes being in college sports. You hear so much about amateurism and,
shamateurism.
College, like track athletes and stuff, are allowed to go compete in professional races over the summer. They can be a college athlete, go win 20,000 in a race and come back and compete the next fall. So this is kind of besides the point, but I thought, maybe something that not a ton of people knew that, yeah, this happens across the board. I just think that it
just seems like they're making a pretty big, the NCAA with their statements are making a pretty big designation between the NBA and other professional leagues.
The distinction used to be that no, you can't. If you've played pro basketball, you can't play. Like we've moved so far down the road. Like if you think JD Davison wanted to come play basketball right now,
let's do it. Just kidding.
Like
I'm good on that.
You don't think that some kind of or anyone like him who he's played in some NBA games. He's mostly a G League player. Like you don't think there would be judges that would approve it temporarily? You don't think that you'd have to go through this due process? Like, I don't think the NCAA can stop anything. I don't think I just don't see how they come out and win this situation. I think the rules are all so far out the window that just about anything can happen and get approved for the time being.
So Tuesday is going to be really interesting because it's going to be interesting to see if Charles Bediako is only eligible for Saturday's game or if he wins his hearing on Tuesday. I would expect him to win his hearing on Tuesday just based on what you're reading. A lot of the comparisons to this Najee kid that went to Baylor and just kind of what you're reading. But here's the deal. I wonder to myself, Theo, if Nate Oates is just realizing, okay, the system is crumbling. The system is breaking. I'm going to break it even further. I'm going to upset people even further so that we get closer and closer to resolution and we stop having these professional players. Do you think Nate Oates is trying to be altruistic? Bo, for the game of college I'm going to break it even further. I'm going to be the one that takes all the bullets, takes all the heat, takes all the online. Nate Oates is such a bad guy. Oh, why do you have to go get a pro player? If you thought, I'll wear maybe the Scarlet A and have everybody hate me, but I will take us closer to the promised land of having the rules in place and be fixed.
No. He's doing this to win basketball.
Well, sure, but
we're not going down.
It can be both, right? It can be both. I'm winning basketball games, but also I'm going to break the sport even further so me and my colleagues can get things back on track.
Destroy the system to save it?
That's right.
No. I mean, I think it's crazy that other coaches aren't, jumping, champing at the bit to try and do the same thing. Like,
Bronny James has played too many NBA games, right?
You'd think one NBA game would be too many, right?
Well, Charles
one G League game.
Charles hasn't played in any NBA games.
So, like, I would not be surprised at all in any way, shape, or form if a player who has played in an NBA game suits up for a college basketball team over the next 2 months?
Bronny
Bronny would go to Arizona.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bronny and Bryce together last.
Not that Bryce doesn't even see the court over there. It's just I don't think that
Jaden Shackelford, he's already played all the minutes he can. He's already done 5 years in college, right? 4 years in college. He transferred here. Yeah. Well, what is eligibility anymore?
Right, and that's the other thing. Like, what if someone who's technically, I really want to see one of these 2020 seniors try to come and play. I would absolutely love to see, like,
do we just ask Herb Jones to forgo his NBA career? Obviously, he's embedded in the NBA. He's NBA defensive player of the year.
He's making like $30 million a year.
We can match it.
Yeah. There goes the entire football team's budget. But look, I just think that we're so far out the window that if anyone is sitting,
what's John Petty doing? John's out of eligibility.
Yeah, he probably.
You got to find somebody who both left early, didn't make it, hasn't graduated. Like there's a lot of loopholes to, like, you ask why is not everybody doing this? There's a lot of like circumstances that you've got to find. You got to find somebody who left early. You got to find somebody who didn't make it all the way into an NBA game, and you've got to find somebody who is still within the 5-year window of them leaving.
Hypothetically, you do.
Yeah,
I still don't believe that teams have to play by those rules. You know what I wonder though, and it's obviously less of a thing in basketball than other sports, but is there some former JUCO player who only got 2 years of NCAA eligibility, who, I don't know, maybe I played 2 years in college, I was out of eligibility, I'm playing in Europe right now. Wait a minute, but Pavia says that I can get more time. Like, I wonder if there's someone like that out there. But just overall, I think if you are sitting around right now and you're taking to Twitter, or social media, or talking to people about how, like, oh, these are the rules, this is what the line is. Like, I think you just don't know what you're talking about. I think that anyone who tries to tell you they know what's possible, what's not, is wrong. Because I think that there is no line right now.
Anything is possible with the right judge.
Anything is possible right now, and the right judge is the one who's in the county, who went to the school, who wants to see the school succeed, right? I mean, let's be real. It's college sports. Like, what do you think Trinidad Chambliss is hearing from a judge in Oxford, Mississippi about?
Yeah, Trinidad's definitely getting his next year eligible.
Right? Like, just about every town has a judge who will help out their college program, at least in the short term. And if Bediako wins this, like, if Bediako loses this case, which you've said you don't think will happen, and I agree from what I've seen, I don't think he will. He wins this case. What is going to happen? The NCAA is going to have a crazy situation on there.
Does Nate Oates go under a lot of pressure from the Alabama fan base to make this season really special? If Charles Bediako becomes eligible for the rest of the year, is there a pressure that he faces for? Oh, coach, you've put us in the spotlight. You have stepped outside of the black and white lines just a little bit. Make it worth it for us. Make sure that we win an SEC title, regular season to tournament title, or get us to the Final Four.
Yeah, no, I absolutely think there is. I think that a lot of fans were starting to come to the terms with the idea that maybe this team wasn't special. I think a lot of people, like, this to me felt like a year where Alabama very likely could have fallen short of the Sweet 16, right?
Could have.
And I think a lot of people would have been like, okay, it was a bit of a down year. We got knocked out in the round of 32, didn't win anything in the SEC. We're still in the middle of the best stretch in program history.
Of course,
like, Oates is coming back. We're not upset. The bar is raised right now. It is in my head too. I'm thinking we added a pro basketball player. The possibility, I mean, this team,
a pro basketball player in the post to a team that has probably a pro basketball player playing point guard.
Yeah. I mean, look, we watched Alabama go toe-to-toe with Purdue, who they're going to drop in the rankings a little. They just lost to UCLA, but like one of the best teams in the country, right? And what was the downfall of that game besides Phylon not being able to hit a free throw? It was rebounding.
Yeah.
Alabama wins that game if 2023 Bediako is on that floor. And if he comes in right now and is the same player, Alabama can beat anyone. I mean, even that Arizona game, right, where, Alabama gets kind of ran off the court down the stretch. It's impossible to forecast. It is a whole new game with Bediako out there. And we already have established that there's nobody in this country that Alabama can't hang with normally, right? Just because of this offense that can get shots to fall, that can do special things for good stretches of time. And we talked about very high ceiling, but maybe the floor is a little lower on this team. Well, the floor just, in my mind, shot up. This team needs to succeed in March now that you've made this move.
Well, it's going to be wild. 7:30 in Coleman Coliseum. You'll be able to see Charles Bediako. We will cover it at BamaCentral.com. We'll be there in the building. You'll have all kinds of live updates on the website. You can follow Kenny Wyndham, Hunter Cypher, and myself. We'll be in the building on Saturday giving you a look. I'm probably just going to film the whole time. Every time Charles is on the field, on the court, I'm going to be filming. So we'll put that on my social media machines, and you can follow that right there. We'll see if Charles only is eligible for one game or if this becomes a thing the rest of the season. Coach Oates did tell the Field of 68 yesterday that he is planning on playing Charles Bediako in the game. Don't know whether he's starting or not. If he's starting, if he's announcing the starting lineup, I mean, I know you've got winter weather this weekend in West Alabama, and people are going to be trying to hunker down, having their milk and bread, eating their, trying to stay warm essentially and not be frozen. But I would risk a trip to Coleman Coliseum, no matter the weather, to see something that you may not see the rest of the year because you don't know what's going to happen on Tuesday. And it's just going to be one of those things like on Saturday, Tuscaloosa will be the center of the college basketball universe.
Yes. No, and it's crazy, like just seeing how much attention is on this program right now. I mean, this, right, in theory, which I don't think it will be, in theory, this could be the only time a player who's ever played in an American professional basketball game plays in the NCAA.
Is the G League professional basketball?
Yes. I mean, these guys are getting paid half the league, or not half the league, but a good portion of these guys are on two-way contracts making $980,000 a year. I mean, yeah, it's absolutely like, I believe the numbers around 45% of NBA players that have played in the G League at some point. Like, it is.
Alex Reese is out of eligibility.
Yes, Alex Reese is.
Is he still with your Thunder?
No, we released him from the organization. I think he's with Philly now.
Okay.
On their G League
All right.
team. And there are some ballers in the G League, man. There are some very good players playing right now. Like,
let's keep scouting them, Coach. Let's keep scouting them and see who's got eligibility left.
Like, I was looking at the what's it called, film from Bediako's last G League game. Like, he got absolutely cooked by Hunter Dickinson a couple times. It's
Kansas.
Yeah, that guy was in college forever. He's definitely out of eligibility. But no, I mean, I'm excited, man. Saturday is going to be something special. I don't think Bediako will start. I would be surprised if he did. But when he checks into the game with 16:30 to play, like, that place is going to be so loud.
It'll be crazy. So we'll be there on Saturday to watch and see what happens with Charles Bediako. And, of course, we'll follow it on Tuesday to figure out if he's going to be eligible for the rest of the year. We'll hear from Nate Oates on Friday. I'll get you. Yeah. We'll hear from Nate Oates on Friday midday. He'll have a press conference. And I imagine that press room in Coleman Coliseum will be as busy as it's been all season.
And, yeah, just one other note on this. Like, if he's cleared to play on Tuesday, and ESPN wrote a really cool feature on James Najee a few weeks ago. And, just from watching the Baylor games, like, Alabama will not play in anything other than a horrendously hostile environment the rest of the year if Bediako's out there.
Perfect. Bring it on.
Like, it is going to reach a new level of, like, not even just going to a game like Auburn, like just every road environment this team plays on every time Bediako touches the ball. I mean, you guys probably remember a lot of the Brandon Miller stuff, right? When he'd go on the road after the situation. I think it'll be worse than that.
Perfect. Bring it on.
Like it'll be crazy. Man.
Well, if you're a pro, Chuck, you can handle it.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
He's a pro.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
Guys played in 25% full G League arenas for 2 years, so we'll see how he adjusts.
Well, let's adjust and let's flip to football right after we tell you about Purple Turtle Roofing. Purple Turtle Roofing sponsors the program. You can call them today at 877-787-6635 for all of your roofing needs. At Purple Turtle Roofing, we're not just another contractor. We're your neighbor and your advocate when it comes to protecting your home or business. With years of hands-on experience, top-tier certifications, and a commitment to excellence, we've built a reputation as Alabama's go-to roofing solution. We specialize in residential roofing, commercial roofing, emergency storm repairs, full-on roof replacements, insurance claim support, and more. We appreciate Purple Turtle Roofing for sponsoring the program. Make sure you call them today. They'll come out, make sure your roof doesn't have any leaks, doesn't have any damage, doesn't have any cracks. They'll come out, check out your shingles, check out your metal roofs, really anything in the roofing realm, Purple Turtle Roofing can take care of. So call them today at 877-787-6635. All right, Theo. So let's keep going on the show, and we're having a great time on a Thursday. We appreciate everybody who's listening to us on Apple Podcast, Amazon, Spotify. Tell a friend about the show. You can comment on the show like our friend Cameron Metzger and like our friend Keith Connell did on the BamaCentral Facebook page, on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, on my own YouTube channel at Joe Gaither 6 for all of that. But the Crimson Tide stayed active yesterday by adding Mississippi State offensive tackle Javen James. 6 now offensive linemen have come to Tuscaloosa by way of the portal. Javen James, 6'5", 320 pounds, 21 starts in his career, allowed 3 sacks, committed 6 penalties on 856 snaps and 9 starts last year for Mississippi State. So last year, right at 860 snaps, only 3 sacks allowed, 6 penalties. That's a little high. Started 9 games at left tackle for Mississippi State. Was a redshirt sophomore, so he will be a redshirt junior, giving Alabama some experience at left tackle. He was at Akron, then transferred to Maryland, and now at Mississippi State. So every little move, he's gone a little higher step, little higher. I mean, come on, we can be honest about Akron to Maryland to Mississippi State and now to Alabama. So he's taken steps up every single transfer. He was rated as the number 161 offensive tackle in the class of 2023. So former 3-star recruit out of Pompano Beach, Florida. So we will see what he brings to Alabama. But Alabama's offensive line, we said it yesterday, was looking set. Now, even better today. What do you think about just continuing to add on the offensive line, Theo? And do you have a good mental picture of what this offensive line is going to look like in 2026?
Yeah, yesterday you said, I think the agreement was maybe you feel a little better about the D-line. I feel better about the O-line. Now I feel even better. I mean, this is a big get, right? This is starting SEC caliber lineman, and clearly a guy who was under-recruited for whatever reason, right? A guy is, you like seeing a guy be able to take those steps just year after year. Like, he's climbing. He's reached this level for a reason. And, like, there are enough bodies on this line now that I believe could very well have the potential to play meaningful snaps, that even without having a clear picture of what the 5 will look like, I feel good that we will be able to create the 5, right? Like we talked, this Delgado guy looks very solid, starting at center, very likely. And now it's just, we have a bunch of guys who can play tackle on this team, right? In James, in Michael Carroll, and Jackson Lloyd, and Haywood. Those are 4 players who I would look at, and Jackson Lloyd, I think, could be a beast, man. He's massive. He's learned behind Proctor. They've talked highly about him. I feel really confident that 2 of these 4 tackles, and I already feel good about Jackson Lloyd, right? I feel confident that I guess one of these 3 other guys will be able to step up and play high-level starting snaps.
Think if Alabama were playing a game tomorrow, which they're not. They're 226 days away from kicking it off against Eastern Carolina. You're probably looking at left tackle Javen James.
Yeah.
You're probably looking at left guard Ethan Fields. You're probably looking at center Rayson Delgatti, right guard Caden Strayhorn, and right tackle Michael Carroll. You've got a lot of quality backups and a lot of guys pushing for those starting positions. So if Jaden James doesn't start at left tackle, you're looking at Ty Haywood and Jackson Lloyd, both pushing him for that starting position. You're looking at left guard William Sanders, really pushing Ethan Fields, redshirt junior, transfer in from Ole Miss, for that left guard position. Not as many players pushing Rayson Delgatti for that center role. Rayson pretty much put him in pencil right there. Get your pen ready to write over his name, to ink it in for sure. But he's pretty much, besides Rayson Delgatti and Michael Carroll, are the only names I'm actually writing down. And obviously, you can change things as we get closer to the season. But Rayson, you're probably backing him up with Caden Strayhorn and Casey Poe, right? And maybe a little William Sanders as well. Your right guard, Caden Strayhorn, I do think he's going to be starting, and you're probably backing him up with both William Sanders and Casey Poe. And then right tackle Michael Carroll, just coming back for his second season, and you've already got backups in Nick Brooks. Remember, transfer from Texas is coming in, so he's gonna be looking for a place to play and a place to start. And if it's not Nick Brooks backing him up, then it's gonna be Ty Haywood and Jackson Lloyd. I think you have created flexibility along this offensive line. I think you have really, really increased the versatility and really replaced a lot of the experience that you lost. Now, you're not going to replace, Parker Brailsford. You played in college for a million years, 4 years, right? Redshirt junior, right? Redshirt junior, left for the draft early. You're not going to replace,
no, he's a senior.
He's a redshirt junior. He could have come back.
Really?
He could have come back. He had one more year of eligibility, left early. You had Caden Proctor, 3 years and gone. Gino Vandermark gone. Obviously, Jaden Roberts was a redshirt senior, I believe. He's gone.
Yeah, he
so he's out of eligibility. So you had a lot of guys really out of eligibility. Cam Dewberry as well. And so I think you've replaced, you look at this line: Rayson Delgatti, redshirt junior; Ethan Fields, redshirt junior; Javen James, redshirt junior. So all three of those guys going into their fourth season of college football. And so I think you've got, where we were talking a week or two ago, Theo, about a young offensive line with a lot of tools. Well, you've now raise the age and experience in the offensive line room, especially with the addition of Javen James. I think you would have been okay if it were Jackson Lloyd or Ty Haywood playing left tackle, or even Nick Brooks. But I think you feel better about a redshirt junior, Javen James, who's played at multiple different levels and played a lot of left tackle already in college football. Look, we're still not gonna do the beating our chest. This offensive line's so good. We're gonna run the ball on everybody. Nobody's gonna get to our quarterback. Blah blah blah. They're untouched. We're not gonna do that like some shows have done, and we're not gonna do that like we have done in years past. I just think the offensive line has a lot of good tools, and I think you have a nice composition. The chemistry looks like a line and a room full of guys that could yield strong results.
Yeah, I can just say everything I wanted to say there. I completely agree.
All right, so you bring in Javen James. Oh, I think I lost your camera. That's okay. They can still hear you.
It's been resetting the whole show. Yeah, it's been on and off.
Oh, man. We want to see Theo Fernandez's beautiful face. Follow Theo Fernandez at Theo Fernandez _. Watch him on WVUA as he anchors the sports every now and then. Are you still doing sports pretty much full time? Is Gary on the news?
No, so yeah, we've got Alex Booth doing the what's it called? We've got Alex Booth doing the
news
sports because Gary's doing news. So it's been, I'm sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was there because my thing has completely disappeared on me. But yeah, no, we've got Alex doing sports, Gary doing news, and I do weekends. So it's a good setup over there.
Yeah, since you're plugged into this board and it's plugged into this computer,
Perfect.
Yeah. So if you can get your camera back, that's great because you're a better looking fella than I am. But they can definitely still hear you. There you go. I see you jumping in. There you go. There he is. Look at that young
We're
man.
back.
Beautiful.
Okay. Technical difficulties.
That's all right. We roll with whatever we can on the show. All right. So the offensive line got a huge addition yesterday. Let's look at the rest of the team. We talked just briefly running backs yesterday, and there is a running back that has entered the transfer portal that seems like Alabama is swirling on him. Running back Gerard Pringle Jr. from Miami true freshman Gerard Pringle Jr. Seems to be an Alabama target. So I think you're set at quarterback. Taden Kawa, Jet Tamala, Keelan Russell, Austin Mack. You've got the 5 running backs, and you may be getting a 6th, right? Remember, you had 6 last year. I believe you had 6 last year. You have now 16 offensive linemen, 8 wide receivers. 8 wide receivers with Maurice Mathis is a new incoming wide receiver, along with Sedarian Morgan, and MJ Churgwin got put on scholarship. So we knew of 6. We added 2 more with Maurice Mathis, and MJ Churgwin got him back out of the transfer portal. Thanks for playing, MJ. Thanks for being here. We'll see what he contributed. I mean, he caught a touchdown pass last year. Caught Keelan Russell. He will always have Keelan Russell's first touchdown pass on his resume. Tight ends, seven tight ends. Danny Lewis Jr., I cannot believe, did not transfer out of the program. Danny Lewis Jr., Jackson Marco, Jay Lindsey, Josh Ford transferred in from Oklahoma State. Caleb Edwards, Marshall Pritchett, and Max Sutter is the incoming freshman. So your offense is largely set right there. Defense, 7 corners, 8 safeties, 15 defensive linemen. You've got yourself 3 Wolves. Inside linebacker is 8, and it's interesting that Katie has Desmond Umeazulu as a Wolf. I don't know if he's going to be a Wolf or a Bandit, but he's definitely going to be playing one or the other. 8 inside linebackers with the incoming transfer of Caleb Woodson. You bring in Zay Hall and Xavier Griffin from the freshman class, and you've got kickers and punters and snappers. Yeah. What do you think Alabama, if anything, needs to shop for in the transfer portal in these last handful of portal days?
I'd go inside linebackers, my number one. I mean, I like QB Reese. I think could have the potential to be a very impactful player down the line. It's good to bring in a veteran, Caleb Woodson, senior, Virginia Tech transfer. It's just I feel like I want one more guy in that room who has actually played meaningful snaps in his career. Just when you look at the guys, you got Dwal Sanders, Caden Jones, who both saw the field for brief flashes. There's been some hype around Xavier Griffin. I don't think we'll see him on the field.
I do.
You do.
I think he's that kind of guy. I think he maybe not starting. I'm not going to say starting, but and I would expect to see him less at inside backer in the first year and more as a situational pass rusher like Justin Hill was this past season.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Zay Hall's a depth piece for now. He's a while from seeing the field. Love that guy.
Zay's a beast.
Luke Metz, that's the room right there, right? I really want to see another inside linebacker be brought in.
Because of experience or because of just not the lack of confidence in the room you have? Because of inexperience in the room, or like what would you be looking for as in an inside backer in the portal?
I think I'd lean because of experience. I don't know though. It's like I think there's talent in this room, but I don't know. I don't know if it really jumps off the page to me, right? Like I don't know how much I trust these guys. And while I'd like to believe in a world where one of, Caden Jones or QB Reese or Sanders is able to step up and be a, full-time player on this defense, I would feel a lot better with a backup plan just in case, okay, this didn't quite work out the way we wanted to. And that's a position where, Alabama by the end of the season had 3 inside linebackers who played very, very solid football, right? I don't know that I have that level of confidence this year. And remember, we criticized the inside linebackers a lot this season. And they ended up putting together by the end of the season a product that I thought was very solid. I want to see another body there.
I think the real move is running back. You're at 5 backs. You need, if you can get to 6. I think that the composition is pretty close to being done. Pull out your calculator real quick.
Yep.
Pull out your calculator real quick. Let's see what the actual scholarship number is. Add 4 and 5 is 9, plus 15 is 24, plus 8 is 32.
You
plus
just give me the numbers. I can throw them in there.
Plus 7 is 39, and 7 more is 46. 8 is 54, right? And 15 and 54 is 69, right?
Yep.
3 Wolves is 72. 8 inside linebackers is 80. 2 kickers 82, 2 punters 84, and a snapper 85. Now you have 105 scholarships now because of the walk-on rule, and so you got still plenty of room, but you're basically at your number of 85. I think that you're virtually there from a composition, from a number standpoint. I would like to see them secure running back if you can get this. If you can get this Gerard Pringle Jr. Or another value running back, but this Pringle Jr. guy could come in and contribute to the running back room. I'm good on the inside linebackers. I like what you have in this Caleb Woodson. I think he's got some potential to be your Justin Jefferson coverage type linebacker. I like Caden Jones a lot. I like Luke Metz a lot. I like Abdul Sanders a lot. I think QB Reese is just a big banger. I think you got a lot of youth right there, but I think you got enough bodies and tools in that room.
So I guess for the same reason you asked why I want an inside linebacker, why do you want to see another running back? Just numbers, or?
Yeah, purely from a number standpoint, because didn't you have 6 this past year? You had
Washington,
Trey Washington, Kevin Riley. You ended up with Richard Young, who's gone. You ended up with A.K. Deer and Daniel Hill was 6. I think 6 is the number you're looking for, just because how many of them got hurt? Like all of them. you used almost all 6. I mean, DeRay didn't really get a lot of run, but you basically used all 6 all year long.
Yeah, and I guess looking at this room, like Trayshawn Brown, he clearly got recruited for a reason, but he's on the lower end of prospects.
Exactly.
He was brought in because another running back flipped. His best offer was Boise State. Like, he's not a guy I'd expect to see, at least right now. Kevin Riley, we've seen him do solid things, right? I mean, we've seen him do some nice things on a football field. But
the Wildcats.
Can't expect to see him out there that much. And look, I said, I think it was yesterday or Monday, that I'm really, really high on A.K. Deer this year. We know what Daniel Hill can provide. And so I guess with them and 2 guys that I really trust in the room, like to believe that Crowell turns into something by the end of the season that we can play this year. There's a lot of reason to be hyped about that guy. But yeah, I don't hate the idea of having a 6th guy.
So I think take you back a week or 2 ago as we wrap up the program. Take you back a week or 2 ago. Everybody really concerned with Alabama in the portal. Oh, you're missing Cam Coleman. Hollywood Smothers is flipping away. And, you don't have Jordan Seaton, and you can't get this offensive lineman. Who was it? Jakaris Peak went to South Carolina. Oh, you didn't get this player or that player. What's wrong with you? You can't get visits. The guys stink. I think you're landing the plane fairly well. I think you got all the wheels on the ground. I don't think you've got any damage to the plane. I think all the passengers are safe, and I think you're ready for you're virtually ready for the 2026 season.
Yeah, I agree.
Who's texting you? Somebody's making you smile. Little girlfriend or a buddy?
No, just got a little distracted.
Funny tweet.
That
about the Giants.
Well, I was trying to look up information, got distracted. Anyway, besides
it's okay. I'm trying to get inside baseball right now as nobody's listening. Was it about the Giants?
No. It was a very negative Joe Shane tweet.
I see. Yeah, I figured that was going on because I know you are anti Joe Shane and the New York general manager.
He is a very, very negative part of this organization. But yeah, back to what we were saying. I feel good about the moves.
Well, let's wrap up right there, Theo, because you got to go to class, and we had a good little discussion today. Follow Theo Fernandez at Theo Fernandez _. We'll be back for a Friday edition right here in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. Tomorrow, Theo, I want to predict Charles Bediako's stat line. I want to do at least that. I want to take your voicemails about really the weekend ahead. 205-462-7340, extension 800. I wonder, I haven't gone to KenPom yet. I wonder if KenPom is infusing their analytics, their Charles Bediako analytics into this team. So we want to predict Charles Bediako's stat line. I want to know if you guys are going to the game on Saturday. I know you got cold and ice and wind and rain all this weekend, but I do think it's going to be a spectacle in Coleman Coliseum. So we're going to get out of here for the day. We thank Derek Daniel for hosting the program. You can call Derek at 205-758-3391. We want to thank Purple Turtle Roofing for sponsoring the program. Call them for your free roofing inspection at 877-787-6635 today. I want to thank Theo for hanging out with me today, and I want to thank everybody who joined us on the comment section, Keith Connell and Cam Metzger specifically for hanging out on the Facebook and on the YouTube. We will talk to you tomorrow right here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com.